There's a company holding almost $2 billion of your money. It pays you zero interest on it. It has no obligation to ever give it back in cash. It isn't regulated like a bank. It answers to no government financial authority. And yet it's sitting on more customer deposits than most actual banks in America. You think it sells coffee? It does. But the coffee might be the least interesting thing about it. It's Starbucks. And by the end of this video, you'll understand how a coffee shop quietly became one of the largest unregulated banks in the country, why the money you load into that app is a genius financial trap, and how forgetting to spend $4 makes them richer than selling you the latte ever could. Let's break down the economics of Starbucks. So, on the surface, Starbucks is exactly what it looks like. It's the biggest coffee house chain on earth with tens of thousands of stores, selling premium coffee at premium prices. And yes, that business is enormous and profitable on its own. But underneath the espresso machines is a second business, a hidden one, that most customers never notice they're participating in. And to understand it, we have to talk about the app. You've seen it, maybe you use it. You load $25 onto the Starbucks app or a gift card, so you can just tap and go, skip the line, feel a little fancy. Simple, convenient, harmless. Except think about what actually just happened in that moment. You gave Starbucks $25 and Starbucks gave you nothing, not yet. It gave you a promise of coffee sometime in the future. You handed over real money today, and in exchange you got an IOU for lattes you haven't ordered yet. Now multiply that by tens of millions of people, all walking around with $5, $10, $20 sitting in their Starbucks balance at the exact same time. As of early 2025, the total amount of customer money parked inside Starbucks gift cards and apps was around $1.8 billion. Let that sink in. $1.8 billion of customer cash sitting inside a coffee company waiting to be turned into drinks. And here's the part that makes economists smile and raise an eyebrow. To put that number in perspective, around 85% of actual banks in the United States hold less than $1 billion in deposits, which means Starbucks is holding more customer money than the vast majority of real chartered banks in the entire country. The head of one of South Korea's largest banks said it out loud. Starbucks is an unregulated bank that happens to sell coffee. So let's compare Starbucks to a real bank side by side, because the difference is where the genius hides. When you deposit money in a normal bank, the bank pays you interest. It's renting your money, so it pays you for the privilege. Starbucks pays you zero. When you deposit money in a bank, the bank is legally required to keep reserves, cash on hand, in case you show up wanting to withdraw. Starbucks has no such rule. It doesn't need to keep your cash ready because you can never withdraw it. You can only slowly drink it. And a real bank is regulated, insured, and supervised by the government. Starbucks answers to none of that because officially it's just a coffee shop selling you gift cards. So Starbucks gets billions of dollars interest-free with no obligation to return it as cash and almost no regulation. In the finance world, this pile of money is called float. It's money that's technically owed to customers but sits in the company's hands in the meantime and can be used and invested and earned on. Starbucks gets to hold your money, put it to work, and keep the returns. In a single fiscal year, the company earned around $21 million just in interest income from sitting on this float. $21 million essentially for free just for holding money you already gave them. But we haven't even gotten to the best part, the part that is almost too good from Starbucks' point of view. Because some of that money, you are never going to spend it. Ever. Think about it. You've got $3.40 left on an old gift card, $1 something stuck in an app you stopped using, a card someone gave you 2 Christmases ago that's floating in a drawer somewhere. Individually, it's pocket change. Nobody bothers to chase it down. But across tens of millions of customers, all those little forgotten balances add up to a staggering amount. In the industry, this is called breakage. It's the money loaded onto cards that is simply never redeemed. It never becomes coffee. It just evaporates into pure profit. And Starbucks reported over $200 million in revenue from this unspent, forgotten money in a single year. $200 million dollars for doing absolutely nothing. No coffee beans, no cups, no baristas, no stores. Just money that came in and never left. This is why a normal bank loan is actually worse for the bank than what Starbucks has. A bank has to pay interest on your deposit. Starbucks pays nothing, and on top of that, roughly 10% of the money never even gets claimed. So it's not just a 0% loan, it's a negative interest loan. Customers are effectively paying Starbucks to hold their money. There is almost no other business on earth that gets to borrow money at negative cost from its own customers who feel happy and loyal while doing it. And that's the final piece, the behavioral trick that makes the whole machine spin. Starbucks doesn't force you to preload money, it makes you want to. Their rewards program is carefully designed so that you earn more stars, more free drinks, when you pay using your preloaded Starbucks balance instead of a regular credit card. So you're gently nudged again and again to keep money loaded inside their system. You load money to earn rewards, you spend it, but not all of it. There's always a little left over, so you load more to top it up. And the cycle never, ever ends. The rewards program isn't really about giving you free coffee. It's about keeping $1 billion of customer money permanently parked inside the company. So, does the coffee even matter? Of course it does. The coffee is the reason anyone shows up, the reason the brand exists, the engine that pulls millions of people through the doors every single day. But the coffee is also the thing that unlocks the second, quieter, almost magical business hiding underneath it. The stored value, the float, the breakage. A river of billions of dollars in interest-free, regulation-free, partially forgotten customer money, all flowing in because everyone just wanted a convenient way to buy a drink. So the next time you tap that app to pay for your latte, remember what's really happening. You didn't just buy coffee. You made a tiny, interest-free deposit into one of the largest unregulated banks in America. And if you ever forget to spend that last $3.40, don't worry about it. Starbucks certainly won't. Because in this business, the coffee was never really the point. Your forgotten money was.